My name is Zolineka Barry Vincent, and you're welcome to ZEEKS Diary TV show. ZEEKS Diary TV show is a program that's here to discuss pivotal issues that concerns and affects children, parents, and teachers. You will agree with me that these are the three major categories of persons that affect and defines the norms and values we practice daily in our society. On today's episode of the program, we will be looking at a very interesting topic called the 3 E's to becoming a better parent. The 3 E's to becoming a better parent. The first E stands for emotional intelligence. The second E for excelling. And finally, expectations. We want to see how we can combine emotional intelligence, the drive towards excelling, and our expectations to become the best of parents to our children and to bring out the best from our children as well. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence can be defined as the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's emotion in a positive way. The ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's emotion in a positive way. Emotional intelligence is key to building a healthy parent-child relationship. You will agree with me that without a healthy parent-child relationship, then parenting will be faulty in its entirety, because it is the parent-child relationship that stands as a communication tool that helps the parent to understand the child and the child to as well understand the parent. When there is no healthy parent-child relationship, then that means there will be a third party in the parenting role that the parent is making or providing for that child. Emotional intelligence is what helps a parent to discover and understand the child's attitude, potential, and strength at every given point in life. People's emotion varies with time. A person can be happy in the morning, can be sad in the afternoon, and in the night can be at a different state of mind entirely. So it is our ability to understand this child's emotion at a particular point in time and how to flow, how to manage the emotion to make the child become the person of our dream or his or her dream is what makes us the best of parents to this child. Excelling. Many parents are anxious to make their children great achievers has in long run gone on growth overdrive. Yes, why did I say this? I say it again. Many parents in anxious to make their children achievers are on growth overdrive. How will children even dream or become great achievers or even dare to dream when their parents have already set goals for these children before giving them a chance to dream? For instance, in academics, you see a parent who register a child for music class, for coding class, for literature class, for drama club, and for every other activity. These are all beautiful agendas and goals for these children. But however, we have failed to create the room for self-discovery for these children. Self-discovery is the process that an individual goes through to discover his or her unique potential or core area. And until you discover this area as a person, you cannot do exceptionally fine in any field you find yourself. So in our drive to make children excel, many parents has closed this gap or this room for self-discovery. And this is what we are here to talk about today. Making a child to excel at multitasking or at multi-level is an excellent ambition. But however, parents should create room for self-discovery and also be interested or try to be part of the processes that a child is going through academically, emotionally, physically, and otherwise, so as to be able to discover areas where these children have keen interest. Because until they discover themselves, I mean their potential, their ability, and their interest, they cannot do exceptionally fine. Yes, on excelling. You see parents, most parents already have their own set goals for children in life. For instance, you see a parent who tell a child, I want my first son to be a lawyer, my daughter to be a nurse, and the other of my child to be an accountant, so that he or she will manage the money for this other two. These are good ambition. But however, have you given it a thought if that dream or those goals are in line with the children's ability? One. Number two, in line with their potential. Three. And finally, in line with their interest. Because if they don't have interest in these things, you can actually push them to it. They can actually do it because they are human. But when there is no passion, then there can be no excellence. Because passion is what brings excellence. Because passion will bring in the hidden joy, to reveal the inner ability. It will serve as the propeller that will make this child to perform better at this very thing. In most case scenarios, you see homes where both parents are lawyers, they will pay emphasis that my children or my first child must be a lawyer. Being a lawyer is a good profession. It is an enviable one, as a matter of fact. However, are you very sure that this child has the ability or the keen interest to do this thing? And when children in the long run or in quest to satisfy their parents' desire of them becoming what they want them to be, they start managing life or struggling through life, either academically or otherwise. And these are some of the factors behind the many cases we see of people getting to different levels of phase in studies. Maybe somebody's already in 400 level engineering, studying engineering, doing very well with good CPGA and good GPA at the end of every semester. But at a particular level, he will say, I want to drop and go for music. As a child counselor, I have seen cases where children are studying medicine or different courses, and they will come and meet us and say, sir, how can I, at this point, how do I blend my vision, my desire to what I am studying? And the first question is it that it is just coming down on you now? Is it now you are discovering that you are good at music or passionate about music and not engineering? The answers are usually either they were not listened to at first when they wanted to go about their choice of career. Their parents insisted that this is what we want you to do. And in anxious to satisfy their parents' curiosity or desire for them, they were forced to do those things, and maybe doing very well with it, because academics generally, like I tell people, is not a complete definition of people's strengths. Yes, you can actually not love music, but if you give yourself to reading and to studies, to practice, you will become a good musician, but not a fulfilled musician. So these children now, or this particular individual, can now be studying engineering. However, his keen area or interest is about music. Secondly, it's also about the parent not listening to these children. Maybe some of the children have heard their opinion of, Daddy, I want to study music. I remembered many years ago as a classroom teacher, we were observing our career day, and a child, I can remember his name vividly, Ibekwe, he said he wants to become a farmer. And the father, in that very ceremony, he stood up and said, no, that how come this son will say he wants to be a farmer, and we permitted him to come out among these people and say he wants to be a farmer. Those coming for medicine, do they have 2 heads? Those coming for engineering, do they have 4 heads? Those that say they want to be politicians, oh, do they have 5 brains? And my son, you people allowed my son to say he wants to be a farmer. And we're trying to explain to him, we said, sir, we didn't choose farming for him. He said he wanted to be a farmer. And I was his classroom teacher by then. This boy has been mentioning that he wants to be a farmer right from primary 2. And we're already in primary 4. But the dad was not okay with it. In the long run, I don't know what he has done with his life. Maybe he has gone into engineering or other field like the father proposed. But I can tell you that he might end up being an engineer, but not a fulfilled engineer. He might end up being a doctor, but not a fulfilled doctor. Now, how can you even become a champion in a field where your passion doesn't lie? It's not possible. You can be an average person on that field, but not a champion or a master of that field. Check those that are masters or celebrities in any field or phase of life. There are those who are in their core area or where their potential lies. Because when you are in your area of interest, you will not need any form of motivation to practice. You will not need any form of push to practice. Nobody will tell Cristiano Ronaldo to wake up in the morning and do and practice. Nobody will tell Ben Carson to be reading books about brain and neuroscience. Nobody will tell any champion in any field. Check them. They are practicing things that can be personified as their life or lifetime goals and ambition. So until parents create room for self-discovery and allow children to discover their unique areas and core areas of interest and strength, then they cannot do well or live a fulfilled life. So in summary, parents should allow children to dream or give them a chance to dream before setting a goal for them. Finally, we will be looking at expectations. Expectation varies. There are negative expectations and positive expectations. Let's talk about the positive expectations. You will see a scenario where a parent already has an expectation, like my child must come at the first position in class. He will provide the necessary materials for the child, provide all the necessary assistance, provide all the necessary aid, even home services, just to make this child get the best out of that academic section. But at the end of the academic section, the child might possibly come at the 5th position in class. Now, because of the parent already has an expectation, already has something he or she was expecting from that child, or they are already expecting from that child, when they come to pick the child's results, the parent will look at the results in the scene of criticism. Said, how come you're taking 5th instead of 1st? After I worked the tooth and nail for you, after I provided you with all the necessary materials, after all the sacrifices I made, and you're coming out with 5th position. The child that took 1st, does he have 4 brains? Does he have 5 eyes? What was the difference between you and that child? After all the assistance I gave to you. Now, what you have done in the long run is that you have emotionally bullied that child. There is something that you have made silent in that child. And in the long run, you have made that child, you have created fear, different levels of fear in that child. We're going to be talking about fear maybe as a subject on this program subsequently. But you have created fear in the mind of that child. Now, that child, in quest to satisfy the parent's curiosity, can go as far as moving towards examination malpractice. Yes, examination malpractice is sometimes majorly sponsored by parents' extra push or pressure on children. It now leads the child to go towards the dimension of examination malpractice, or in quest to satisfy the parent's curiosity. Negative expectations. Maybe this usually happens in scenarios where you have 2-3 children, parents that have 2-3 children. Maybe the other 2 are doing exceptionally fine, and the other is struggling academically. The parent will look at the child and said, you are going to be a failure. There's nothing good to write home about you. Your siblings are coming 1st position, 2nd position, and you always come back home with the worst, the bad, the most terrible form of results. How come? There is no hope for you. Now, in the long run, you have failed to create a mental picture for that child that child can do better. There is always hope for better performance for children. That is why they are children, because they are at a stage where where their goals, their dream, their strengths, their ambitions requires nurturing, requires motivation, requires a propeller, and that is why we are there for them as parents. Emotional intelligence, our drive towards excelling, and expectations should align with children's core area. And by so doing, we will in the long run get the best out of these children and get a fulfilled child or personality from our children. But when we fail and play the other side of the coin, where we want to emotionally bully these children and set our own goals for them and give them a mental picture of our expectations, then in the long run, we will create individuals that we will not live or achieve their desire in life or attain their greatest height. Because you can only attain your greatest height as an individual when you are in your area of core strength or potential, and when there's an atmosphere that supports and encourages you that you can do better. Because of course everybody can do better. The point you are today is not your limit. Life is limitless. You can always go far if you dare to dream or push towards going further. Yes, you can go far. Your children can do better. Yes, if only you serve as that propeller, as that motivating factor to make them get to that greatest height of their dream. So parents there should be a close watch. There should be a healthy parent-child relationship, a healthy parent-child relationship that is in alignment with the children's interests. When we're talking about the child's interest, we're not generally saying that whatever the child says should be what should be accepted or a standard to what they want to be. A child who cannot wake up in the morning and tell you as a parent that I want to be a mediocre in life, and you said, oh fine, is that what you want to be? Yeah, go ahead. No. That is not what we are talking about. Now what we are saying is, when you are closer to your children, you also will be able to discover their own core area. You also will be able to discover their unique strengths. And when that is in place, then you have been able to achieve your role, your function, to render your help to that child as a parent. So emotional intelligence, our drive towards making children excel, and our expectations should be in balanced proportion to bring out the best from our children. This is ZEEKS Diary TV show, and I'm sure you've gotten value for your time. Follow us on our socials, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook at ZEEKS Diary and Zoli Nekabari Vincent for more interesting topics, and always drop your questions there because we will be handling them on the next episode of the show. It's ZEEKS Diary. Investing in children, investing in the future, and making the society a better place is our overall dream.